What's up, all? It is 7:30 on Sunday, and I'm making my way back to Minnesota, and wanted to kind of get some thoughts down about the weekend and the final game. As I mentioned before, the girls had advanced into the final game against the Blitz United team out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Oklahoma City, I'm not sure which one. And after our game this morning, I'd stayed around to watch Blitz United play Kansas City Scott Gallagher. And I was hoping it was going to be Kansas City Scott Gallagher because I would have liked to play them again and try to redeem ourselves from our opening game in the event and avenge that loss. And Kansas City Scott Gallagher was up 2-1 when I left, and they only needed a tie to advance, but Blitz United ended up coming back to win 3-2, and deservedly so. I mean, they were the second best team in our group and deserved to play in the final. Again, athletic, well coached, tough. A couple game breakers on their team who can really change the game, strike the ball well. So it was a battle, and we scored on a free kick. Sarah Johnson took a long free kick that bounced in front of the keeper and kind of skipped in. And fortunate, but a good strike on net. And then Blitz United scored the next 2 goals. And then late into the second half, probably with 15 minutes left in the second half, we got a fantastic goal from Dutch, who's playing left midfield, a great left-footed shot into the lower far post corner to tie the game. And I don't think anyone was happier than Dutch besides me. I mean, just for a girl that hasn't scored a lot of goals and isn't known for her goal scoring on the team, for her to put away a really terrific finish at a crucial time was awesome. It was great to see, and she was obviously and well deservedly ecstatic about the goal. You could just tell. And then we got the late game winner with a fantastic shot from Sienna, who has proven herself as a true goal scorer. Even though I use her in center midfield a lot and center defense when we need to, she is a goal scorer, and she is a tough, technical player, scrappy, fights hard for everything, pacey, and she's got her first 3 or 4 yards of acceleration. She leaves a lot of people behind her. It was a great goal to give us a victory in the championship at the Emerald Cup. And I talked to the girls and the parents before the game, just making sure that people understood that regardless of what happened in the game, I had already viewed the weekend as a very positive weekend. Not only from the girls' performance and bouncing back and dealing with the adversity of a poor performance or poor-ish performance in the first game, but the team bonding that happened in the hotel, in the swimming pool, at the team meals, the camaraderie and the team culture and positive vibe that all that helped build was terrific. And then for Tim and I as coaches, the ability to play at our age group and be put under some pressure that we are just not used to seeing at all, even playing up an age group in Minnesota, we still weren't under the type of pressure we saw in these games, and that pressure was compounded by the fact that we were in a tournament and we were playing for something. So the strengths and weaknesses that were highlighted were exactly why we came on this trip. And in the long-term scheme of things, it's about now designing training sessions to address these weaknesses, from individual player weaknesses to collective tactical weaknesses and understanding of the game. There's so much that we can do to get better. We clearly were not able to keep possession well enough under this type of pressure, and that led to panic, and that panic led to poor clearances, which gave other teams opportunities at our net, which led to more panic, and kind of a vicious circle fed off itself. And we work hard when we don't have the ball, and we get tired and we get fatigued, and that fatigue leads to breakdowns in technique. So we need to have the ability to possess the ball and rest while we have it, and be able to move the ball and keep the ball forward and backward, side to side, moving opponents and moving the opposition around and creating gaps that we can then attack and exploit. We need to do better about playing out of the back and understanding what our options are. And that's not the fault of our defenders. That's more of a fault of our midfielders and forwards putting themselves in positions where they will be able to, where defenders will be able to find them with good outlet passes from the back. We need to do a better job of playing girls in behind opposing defenders. We tend to kick it a lot when it needs to be passed with proper pace and proper direction. The work we did in our set pieces, I think, really started to pay off, and I was super excited to see the girls bring some of those ideas into play this weekend under pressure. We still need to do a better job of aerial ball control, something that is a weak point in the girls' game. And just our ability to get the ball settled, especially when we're playing on turf. And the ball's bouncing, and it's very difficult to play when the ball's bouncing in the air. We need to be able to continue to give the girls tools and techniques and skills to be able to bring that ball down to the ground and be able to play easier. The movement of our attackers, our wide midfielders and our forwards, to get free and not receive the ball always with their back to goal, but to create channels and look for the ball in space behind the defenders, which usually is down the flanks or in the corners. Our weak side midfielders, understanding that when the far side midfielder or forward or overlapping defender is looking to get a cross off, how to get free, what positions to be in as a weak side midfielder. The shape of our two center midfielders, our holding mid and our attacking mid, how they cover ground, how they work in tandem, to not only on defense and to cover ground, but also to be a link between one side of the field and the other side of the field, or from our defenders to our forwards. It needs a lot of work. And the overall understanding that the game is not played 100 miles an hour to the opposite goal. Most of the game is played side to side on the field. We still are under the understanding that we need to get the ball and go 100 miles an hour toward the opposing net, whether it's on the dribble or whether it's a direct passing or a direct ball from the back. And we need to work on developing other goalkeepers. I did not want to play Gwen in goal as much as I did, but she was lights out fantastic. And everybody knew it, from her teammates to our parent group to opposing coaches. She was the difference maker in the weekend. Some of the saves she made were unbelievable, and I just have never seen competency like that in goal at this age group. And I hope that this weekend serves to bolster her interest as a goalkeeper, because she has so much potential to to be one of the best that Minnesota's seen, and that's saying a lot with keepers like Brianna Scurry and Kat Parkhill and Tara Hobbs. I've just never seen that at this age group, and it's such a big confidence booster, not only to me and Tim as coaches, but to the players, to know that these half chances that some of our players who don't understand playing goalkeeper might bobble or have a chance of giving up rebounds or possibly even going in. Gwen is just sure-handed and eats everything up back there, and when she's called on to make that needed, unbelievable save, she's done it. And I was really happy for her, really proud of her, and really proud of all the girls and how they played, from how they battled. And we had some injuries. I knew Kenny was hurting, and she wanted to play. She wanted to give some minutes, and she hated being on the sideline, and I know it was eating her up not to be able to participate, and we missed her. We missed her speed up the flank, up the left side, and the trouble that she causes opposing defenders. And I have every confidence that she would have been that troublemaker had she been 100% healthy. Elise in the center of midfield as a holding mid just probably played the most minutes of anybody this weekend, and her work rate and her tenacity just breaks up opponents' attack after attack, and doing that on a little banged up as well just shows her desire and mental toughness to get in there and be a part of what's going on too. And I don't think her injury was anywhere near severe as Kenny's, but still, with 13 players and some injuries like that, it was tough. And even my daughter Livia, she wasn't feeling well this morning and kind of had to take a walk around the parking lot while the game was going on to kind of settle herself and settle her stomach, and then to come back, and she got beat up a lot this weekend. She was on the ground a lot. Again, she's a tough kid, and as I tell many people, she would tackle a fire hydrant if it had the ball. I mean, and we have a number of players that would do that. We got really good performances in the defensive line from Sarah Johnson and Mickey on the left, and Ainsley, and Bella and Dutch when they were called on to play defense. Filled in great, and Mickey was so involved in the game and had to take her out for the last probably 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and Maddie had stuck Maddie back there, lefty, and Maddie really helped shore things up back there for us. And again, our midfielders, Elise and Bella, Maddie, Liv, Sienna, all kind of rotated in the center of mid. Dutch, Olivia, Ainsley, Kenny, Bella, Maddie, Livy, all kind of had stints on the outside of midfield. And then Sienna and Livy were primarily our forwards that rotated this weekend. But again, super happy about the weekend. Honestly, would have been happy even if we ended up losing the final game, but coming from behind to win that game, and I was happy for the girls and for the effort that they showed. And yeah, we have a lot of work to do. We start outdoor training this week. I'll take a day off. We're supposed to train tomorrow. We're going to take tomorrow off and kind of recover a bit. Then we'll get back into it, and we head to Chicago in 2 weeks for another event, and that'll be 7v7. And yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to be getting back onto a small field, but the goal is to, again, put these kids into competitive situations at their own age group to continue to work to get better. And that's the track that we're on, and the parents have bought into to that mentality, and I'm excited to move ahead.